Hello! Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm Jamie. I read a ton of books, and I am preparing for Dewey's Readathon, the October Readathon in particular. Dewey's is a 3 times a year event. It only lasts 24 hours each time, although every once in a while there's extended stuff before or after, but it's not official. So 3 24-hour readathons per year. And this upcoming one starts on the 26th of October at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, which means disgustingly early my time. Yeah. And I'm planning on doing all 24 hours, because I always do. I've tried to do 24 hours straight ever since I started as a participant, and now that I'm one of the ones running the thing, I still try to do the 24 hours, even though I'm getting old and it's getting harder. Way back in undergrad, when Dewey's was still a brand new event, I definitely found all-nighters really easy. Not so much. So by the end of the weekend, I will be bleary-eyed and sleep-deprived. The cats will be very amused. The thumbnail for this video is me showing off all of my books that are lined up for the readathon. Actually, the tall stack is the books I've finished so far for the month. So it's not as crazy a TBR as I sometimes do. People who have known me for a while, for the Dewey's Readathon in particular, are probably used to the wall of books approach that I do for TBRs. And this is similar, but I've got a couple sections. So I have the Marjorie Allingham books, which mostly I have in audiobook format, but I also have in print. There are 2 that I'll have to do only in audio because I don't have them in print. Other than those 2 books, I have the entire series of the Mr. Campion series. So I'm working my way through them. I've actually gotten about halfway through book 10, and I'm going to be currently listening to that when I finish making this video. So I will probably be finished with book 10 before the readathon starts. I will actually go to sleep tonight so that I can get up disgustingly early and start the readathon. I have to get up before the readathon starts to start the readathon, because I have to post some stuff to start the readathon. So I will be going to sleep, but I'll finish book 10 tonight, probably before I go to bed. So I will be starting on book 11 tomorrow, which is Trader's Purse, I believe. So that will be that category. I have short books in paperback. So these are just all short, flimsy books. Probably tiny writing, but they're not very long, so hopefully I can survive them. My eyesight is also getting old, so sometimes I have to admit the small print is a bit much. But I can still do it. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? So I'm going to try to do only Marjorie Allingham's as audiobooks for the entire weekend, really. Not even just the readathon weekend part. The entire weekend, I'm going to be trying to do only Marjorie Allingham audiobooks. Everything else will be in print, because I'm trying to clear some of my books off the shelves. The read what you own sort of concept, trying to clear some space on the shelves. I will be doing read what you own as well, probably more along the lines what everybody else does. So actually setting a goal and trying not to acquire random books. I will have caveats. I'll do a separate video about that. But I'm kind of getting into the gear of read what you own during this event. So I have another section that is kind of fatter books they're all murder mysteries. So that's section 3. Section 4 is library books. They're holding up some of the other books, so I'm going to leave them where they're at. And then section 5 is larger format murder mysteries. So I have 7 in that section. So between 4 and 7 books per section, I think. Yeah, actually, that last section is the biggest one. So what I'm going to do, each hour of Dewey's Readathon, I'm going to use one of the virtual dice on the internet and roll for a number, 1 through 5, and whichever number I get, that's the category that I'm reading from. If I'm in the middle of a book in that category, I can go back to it. If I'm not in the middle of a book yet for that category, either I can mood read whichever one out of that category I feel like starting, or if I really don't want any particular one over any other, I can do eeny, miny, mo, or I can roll for which book within that section I will be starting. So each hour of Dewey's, I will be rolling to see which book I'm reading for that hour, which is really unlike most Dewey's Readathons I've done, because I don't usually switch every hour, but I used to play a game a couple years ago where I would switch books every hour. I'd set up, like a playlist on Spotify or something like that, where it would be 1 hour long. At the end of it, I would switch books. So I'm going to try to do that for the entire 24 hours of Dewey's. So 24 segments. It does mean I may not finish as many whole books, because it depends on how focused I am during that hour. Because there is a little bit of loss just from having to switch gears. But a lot of them are really short. So it's really up in the air how this is going to turn out. I usually don't finish more than 4 or 5 books during Dewey's anyway. I know, that's a lot of books for a lot of people. And I don't usually do graphic novels, so I'm always doing some sort of book, like with words in it. I just actually tried a graphic novel that I hesitate to call a novel. That, as just a quick aside, because I'm probably not going to mention it again. Well, I might not. So my sister loaned me the graphic novel of Cormac McCarthy's The Road. There are basically no words in that book. Like, how is it a novel? Like, really? And unless you read the book, it would be really unlikely that you would actually know from the pictures what the book is saying. So I'm skeptical. As a work of art, it's kind of cool if you like The Road, which I don't. But I read it. And I may not have liked it, but I remember enough to know that there's a lot that doesn't really come through in the graphic novel. So, anyway. Just a random aside here. But yeah, you'll get more of those, because I'm going to try and actually do more talking about the books in my videos. So we'll see how that goes. New year, new me. Remember, I have gone through my first year of BookTube. It might mean that year 2 of being on BookTube means I'm way more scattered, because we'll see how this goes. Trying to not suppress the tangents so much, because when I talk about books in real life, it's the tangents where you really get into the meat of the talking about books. So, being more real, being more scattered, more books, more videos, hopefully. And I will be trying to do update videos during Dewey's. So if I finish a book during an hour, so let's say I was on a Marjorie Allingham hour, and I rolled for a 1 and got Marjorie Allingham. If I finish the book that I was reading during that hour, and I have time to spare, that's when I get to do recording. Because otherwise, how do you fit recording videos with those 24 segments? So that's built in there that, finishing books means I have some spare time to do stuff with. And of course, I will also be doing admin stuff. So that will also be that'll be what I use my audiobook time for as well, is admin stuff. All right, so we'll see how the Dewey's event goes. There are bingo boards. I've posted 3 bingo boards that are specific for the Readathon. One is a time theme, one is a space theme, and one is kind of a Readathon experience, kind of a combined reading and activities board. You can find those on our Discord. I've also shared them onto Facebook. I still do not get along with the posting images on Goodreads. I used to know HTML. I used to code in HTML for websites way back when it was new. But yeah, I can never manage to get the formatting right to put images in Goodreads in any sort of post. So the bingo boards I made are not on Goodreads because I'm so bad at the formatting to actually post images on Goodreads. But there are activities on Goodreads already. If I figure out, or if Cinda figures out how to post bingo boards on Goodreads, they might turn up there. Otherwise, check out Discord or Facebook. I will be manning the Twitter as well, or the X. I still don't know what to call all the things involved with X. Anyway, I'll be manning that site as well. I've been covering Tumblr. I like Tumblr. But so long as I'm in charge of the Readathon, it tends to be the ugly stepchild of the sites that I always forget about it. For the time being, I'm not going to worry about the WordPress site because so few people visit it. And at this point, we've let the Deweys.com version lapse because that's the one thing with Dewey's that was costing money to keep going, was keeping that account. So now it's just the Deweys.wordpress.com version. And nobody looks at it. So if it looks like it hasn't been updated in a while, it hasn't been. I would love to start spinning that up into a sort of bloggy thing for between readathons. Hasn't happened yet. Might happen by April, because I love the idea that we have one. But right now, if I have to leave out a site, WordPress and Tumblr are the least bang for our buck in terms of getting posts out there and getting engagement and keeping everybody happy during the readathon. So we've had to make some executive decisions on how we use our time, because it's mostly me and whichever admins are awake for different parts of the readathon. So Facebook, Discord, Goodreads, Twitter/X. And if I really get bored, maybe Tumblr, but probably not. So I will leave the links below my video if anyone would like to check out those links. I know I've chatted with some people that had not done Deweys before that like the idea in the general booktubes. And so I'm going to make sure that the links are available on a video of mine somewhere so that folks can find Deweys if they want to. We will be doing a week after kind of cool down period as well. And I will try to do posts on all our major sites about that. Maybe with the exception of Twitter/X, because I think mostly that one is a day of sort of site. But I will try and make sure that everybody knows we have this cool down period. And, so we'll see how it goes. I've been a bit scattered. My two cats, Christopher and Maurice, got fixed this week. So I've been very distracted. But they're doing better. They're definitely back to their normal selves, maybe slightly hungrier because they were traumatized by having to go without food overnight. It was terrible. Yeah, that was the bad part. The missing bits they haven't thought about yet. Mostly, I think. So hopefully it'll go well. I think my brain is in gear to where I'm ready. I'm doing things a little differently as far as putting sprint posts up early because there's not really been much benefit to that anyway. I always end up changing the wording before I actually post it, so I might as well just not. So it's going to look a little more sparse tonight leading into tomorrow. But as of hour 1, or slightly before hour 1, everything's going to start to kick off. So have no fear, it will happen. And if you are interested in helping out with Deweys, send me a message on Discord or on Facebook. All of the admins so far except one have a Facebook account. So we have an admin chat in Facebook that we usually use to keep up with what's going on between admins. That might shift over to Discord depending on who's going to be an active admin next year. But in order to be an admin, you need to be on Discord or Facebook for sure to be able to communicate with all of the other admins. Because it's really awkward if we're not all on the same page. It's amazing how little we communicate for how much we get done. But the only way that works is that everybody has one of those platforms in common that we can all chat. So keep that in mind if you would like to become an admin. We will be watching for prime candidates for such over the next couple months. It'll probably be people whose names we already know, because that's a good sign that they're going to be a great admin, because if we're already kind of relying on them for stuff anyway, they're probably already being an admin, they're just not official yet. So that's kind of our rubric. If you want more activities, there is a reader on Facebook who made a couple of their own bingo boards and shared them that are gorgeous, way prettier than the ones I made. They have like pictures and stuff and very themed. We are leading into Halloween, so yeah, theirs are actually pretty. So check that out if you want more bingo boards. I will probably make some sort of additional kind of theme game of some sort on Goodreads. I have a few ideas in mind, and by morning I'll have decided. So if you want more activities, there will be that. We still have discussion questions on Goodreads. I'm seeing just how much participation we actually have on that, because there are a few ways of modifying that element of our readathon. Because I've noticed a lot more people are not using Goodreads anymore for various reasons. A lot of it, Amazon and stuff like that. So we may be looking at alternatives for that. So if you don't see a lot of discussion on Goodreads, I'm going to be doing my part to keep it going, but at some point we may be shifting more of that over to Discord as well, because it looks like this decade of social media is more on Discord anyway, rather than on Goodreads. So that's just my kind of intuition at the moment. We're still figuring that out. Anyway, so that is Dewey's and my pre-readathon check-in, and I will check in again as soon as I finish a book during an hour next. So we'll see. Good luck getting into the readathon, and I will see you guys, or you will see me for sure, somewhere in the Dewey's social media in about 10 hours, give or take. Yeah, probably like 8 hours. Yeah. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.